So, and the evening and the morning were the first day, it says in Genesis 1:5. What does that mean as far as our growth and our progress in life? The evening and the morning were the first day. So we see these cycles, and there's a line Mrs. Eddy has of cycles of divine light. These cycles of when she talks about the morning, she talks about revelation and progress, she talks about the evening, she talks about peace and rest. So we have these cycles of revelation and progress, peace and rest. And that is the full cycle of sort of the divine day, which is not sort of the mortal sun rising and falling in the darkness and the light, but that place of revelation and progress, peace and rest. And what's really interesting is we get to acknowledge that both are good, that both places, the revelation and progress and the peace and the rest, are a balance for each other, that they comprise the full day, that kind of irradiance of life, which is part of the definition of day in the glossary. So are we acknowledging and allowing ourselves to have that place of, there's that idea, this is another quote from Science and Health where Mrs. Eddy talks about the successive appearing of God's ideas. And that successive appearing in the sort of cycles of evening and morning, morning and evening, the full day, are those places of spiritually clearer views of God. So what does bring us those spiritually clearer views of God? Peace and rest, that place of be still and know that I am God, the place of revelation and progress. What does that look like? What does revelation look like for us in our life? Is it coming from that place of silence and meditation and prayer? Is it coming from being more fully the reflection of God that you were created to be? Does it come from turning down those suggestions that we are less than, or turning down those suggestions that we can't or we're not good enough? Is it turning away from those suggestions or that sort of temptation to think less of ourselves and to really lean into the place where God does love us and there is grace here, and we can see that successive appearing of God's ideas and those spiritually clearer views of God, those spiritually clearer views of ourselves with spiritual discernment. So there's that wonderful Psalm 145 where it says, every day I will bless thee. I will praise thy name forever. And so in the evening and the morning was the first day. In the evening, in that time of peace and rest, and in the morning, in that time of revelation and progress, I will praise God with that of my being. So